I want Jid to be, because I love hip hop. I love rappers. I love all of us. Every single one of us. I want us to win and be the best who we are as artists. Has nothing to do with anything else. He has the skill sets to be at the top tier. Like think about an A-list celebrities, like an A-list rapper, and he's like a B-list rapper. And I feel like he's not. He just hasn't done something. I can't put it to put him in that A thing. I don't know what it is, and I think it's. I liked his last album, but I haven't fully immersed myself and said, "Yo, this is crazy. This is you. This is only you could have done this, and it's hot." It feels like a montage versus like actual fully realized world.
Works into another scene, and then you're like, oh snap, that's from that scene, and then like that's what it feels like with the Clips album. And I'm not saying like, I'm saying they're good scenes, they're great scenes, but it's a compilation of scenes. It's just like feels more like a compilation. And when I go back and listen to the Forever Story, I think that thing you were saying about Jid, where like I could have swore that after the Forever Story, he was about to be the next one. Like after the Forever Story, I was like, oh my goodness,
he's up.
I also feel there is something that I don't know what isn't, because to me, I hear Jid's star potential. I'm not saying he's not, but to me, he like should be up there.
He's not A-list. We got to be real. He's not filling arenas. We're talking about him being like Cole level. Yeah,
but sometimes I feel like, is that maybe record label stuff? Are they not giving him the right? I just don't know what it is. Because
artistically, though, I don't think he's there either.
Like, I think the Forever Story was a good starting spot. Like, if you have people find Jid, and that would have been like his Good Kid, Mad City, and he went from there, that's what he was supposed to do. I feel like that Forever Story. I even feel like that more than this album, low key. Like, if somebody was like, "Yo, I've never heard Jid," what album?
Go to Forever Story. Yeah,
Forever Story would be the one I give him.
I think this is exactly what I'm saying. Forever Story is such that was the first time, honestly, too, where I felt like I didn't hear his influences. Like I feel like before that, I always could hear tinges of his influences. And I don't want to just put him out there like that on him, but it's like you could hear, whereas what I even say about Pusha, like Pusha, on How Happened to Fury, I could just hear Biggie's flow. It's just literally Biggie's flow, but in Pusha's voice. Whereas on this Clips album, this nigga left the earth. He left Earth. Even if you could kind of have the Biggie flow, it's definitely Pusha's like, I perfected how to do me. Now
I think he sounded like Mace on POV.
POV, yeah.
I like that shit though.
Yeah, he said he was trying to mimic Guru, and Guru kind of sounded like Mace.
I heard Mace. Mace to me.
They both kind of have this monotone shit.
Yeah, the POV. That's Mace all day to me. Like, but yeah, maybe I
love that song.
I haven't heard as much Guru as Mace, so maybe that is. But I heard Mace. I heard that's Mace and Bethel.
Oh yeah, then well, you never heard The Moment of Truth?
So the one that I know by name is Right Where You Stand with Jadakiss and him. That is.
Oh yeah, because I mean, Guru has his own
rest in peace
solo projects, but fucking hold on. I want to see when this came out. Yeah, 98. But like Gangstar with DJ Premier and Guru, that Moment of Truth album, that's so classic. If you listen to that, then listen to POV, you're gonna be like, okay, I see why that sounds like that. But and that, DJ Premier is like the greatest producer. Yeah. That album is like the DJ Premier's best work. It's crazy. It's crazy. I love that. Moment of Truth is like essential hip hop knowledge. My steez. But you should react to that motherfucker.
I'll low key probably know the song, and it's just the name.
When you hear it, I know you do. It's just that there's so much in our heads that you have to like. Yeah. I know this album and the songs from this album because it was like very, very prominent. But I'm saying you could hear him do that. Whereas go back to Jid, it's like Jid, Forever Story is the first time I felt like I'm hearing Jid. I don't hear any influences. I don't hear anything. Even that sample of Miss Fat Booty, that single went crazy. I think I get it. I see what everybody else saw. That's kind of where I had. That's how good Kid Mad City was for me. People were talking about Kendrick. I listened to his stuff, Section 80 and stuff like that. I was like, he's cool. I thought Rigor Morris was dope. I was like, this nigga rap.
Mhm.
But I didn't think people were like, he's next up. He's this. I was like, good Kid Mad City dropped instantly. I was like, oh, that's the nigga. That's the guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy. Like,
Yeah.
just everybody step out the way, let this man work. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like someone coming into the court, don't look like they could do much. They shoot 1-3. You're like, all right. They dribble down the court. Stop. All right, let him. It's over. It's over. I'm not talking shit to this nigga. This nigga's nice. And I wanted Jid to be that because we need that. I don't know who is that for you right now? Who has the potential to be that?
I've been talking about this where it's like the whole concept of a big three is like the way that, because some people don't like it, some people do, but it's a good way to encompass who is like the next up or the controllers of the culture at the moment. And I always felt that it was a kind of a baton passing thing, or at least the last couple of generations was, because I feel like if you track it from like a Death Row kind of pass it to Eminem, and Eminem kind of passes it to 50 Cent, and then on the other side, Jay-Z has it, and then Jay-Z kind of passes it to Cole. Cash has it. They pass it to Wayne. Wayne passes it to Drake. But I feel like Drake, Cole, and Kendrick, by this time in Jay-Z, Wayne, and
they had passed it already.
We had already known at least who was coming up, because Dr. Dre was behind Kendrick so much that we knew, like, oh, that's the baton. That's who the aftermath thing is going to. That's what the inner. Okay, he's going to be the next one. But right now, I guess that's a long way to say, bro, I don't know who's next. Like that. This is the first time I feel like where it feels like
someone's got to do it without a cosign.
Yeah, and it feels like they got to do it soon, but I also feel like this is happening in sports too and in movies, where it's like there's no more stars, because like people say that Will Smith was the last like movie star, and now there's just like actors where it's different, where it's like the people who transcend.
I was having this combo, and I said that about you can't name 5 under 30 A-list actors that are under 30 years old. But Tom Holland and Zendaya are superstars. Okay. Spider-Man, like Tom Holland and Zendaya. You could probably throw Sydney Sweeney in there because of controversy. Everyone knows her name, right? But she's not. Is she an A-lister? No, because I don't think everyone's going to go her movie.
But movies, what movie star used to be is if they're the star, it's like Will Smith, Tom Cruise. Those were like, yes, Zendaya and them are big, but like,
I think they're the same thing in the same. I think they're the same thing, just earlier in their career.
You think Tom was gonna have a millennium? You remember the millennium?
Do you remember I remember literally mimicking the Men in Black dance, but you're talking about Will Smith after he had a full TV show run, 2 movies that went crazy. Independence Day solidified him as a movie a film actor, and then MIB made him worldwide. He's like, I don't know, 28 at that time. This thing is. Tom Holland's like 26 and he has 3 Spider-Man movies. Yes, over time, those are the last 2. Those are only 2 A-list movie stars, I think, out at that age. And Timothée Chalamet is probably in there coming up.
Here's my pushback to that, because
all right, go ahead.
If Will Smith in his head, and I feel like the Marvel movies have helped do this, is the same thing that TikTok does, where it's like, when Will Smith was in a movie, he was the face of that franchise. He was the face. He was the reason. Tom Holland isn't even that in the
Spider-Man?
MCU. Yeah, in the MCU, because Spider-Man.
Well, the MCU has fucking Robert Downey Jr. in it, so how could he be the face?
But that's what I'm saying. He's a last generation movie star. But I feel like
You're saying that he's still part of the last generation because he was just early?
No, I'm saying that the last generation of stars are still the stars, and that encompasses a lot of entertainment, and to a point where there's becoming a gap that if they like just retire, there's gonna be kind of like a lull before there's like a explosion, because it's the same thing with sports where they go like the face of the NBA is still LeBron, and that's almost not a good thing because of
okay.
FD made a video about this, literally about how.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's like, and I'm noticing that in a lot of things where it's like, there's by this time I feel like I'm old enough to say to have seen by this time the batons were already, even if the other people were still working, the batons were already passing. You knew who the next those guys were.
I like this convo and I'm gonna push back on it, but I'm gonna agree with you that I do think that there's two worlds. I feel like there's like BC AD, right? Of Hollywood and entertainment. So I 100% agree with that. And I agree with a lot of points in the FD thing. But the one thing I would like to say is that I feel like because thing is so splintered, like because our phones give us only what we want, us old heads, and I'm saying old heads is 30 plus, 30 under, 30 plus. That's, you have 60 years of life, hopefully, on this damn planet. 80 if you're lucky. But so if you're on that other side, 30 plus, you're getting 30 plus shit, and niggas ain't going away. So if Drake's never going away, Kendrick's not going away, Will Smith is still thinking put out an album. These niggas are not going away, and they still have these tools to put themselves in front of our face. So they still have these things, and the industry is focused on nostalgia. So I went to the movie theater. I saw 4 movies that I've already saw before, and they were new movies. That makes no fucking sense. It was Aliens, fucking Fantastic Four. I'm like, these are not new movies. Why are there fucking posters here? But the only thing I would say is that these kids, Kai Cenat, I Show Speed, Mr. Beast, Zendaya, Tom Holland, these are such new fields that we're thinking about things because they're not saying that they're just a rapper or they're just an actor or this is how Hollywood works. Kai Cenat is an A-list fucking celebrity. Period. That I Show Speed nigga goes to a fucking different country and 40,000 of those people in a different country are that's Michael Jackson shit. Like we're looking at it in real time. So it's just things have changed, and the people with certain skill sets and careers and categories that were created by art ancient way Hollywood is fighting with the idea of a new Hollywood. And what I'm trying to say was going to happen is that the first actors to ever do acting in Hollywood, they sucked. It took years before you got to Marlon Brando, Charlie Chaplin, and then Denzel Washington, Viola Davis, right? So Kai Cenat is just the first of his kind. 10 years from now, some nigga's gonna be nice doing wherever the fuck that shit is Kai Cenat's doing, right? And that's what I think, because that nigga his friends be rapping. Some of them are actually good. One of them could sing, the AMP guys, or whatever like that. So I'm saying, what if that was someone that was actually nice, but had the same type of attention? What's that nigga name? DDG. That DDG, he actually was a YouTuber, then he started rapping, then he's back to streaming, whatever. But I think that people are just pluralists when it comes to entertainment now and using these things differently, their personality differently. Just like you.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you're a rapper, but you figured this shit out in your own opinion. You're just a different type. How many fucking rappers would want 1 million subscribers on fucking YouTube, nigga? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, we are living, there's just a different category. So that's the only thing I wanted to push back on FD. It's like, yes, the old archetype of entertainment categories have changed. Because what the fuck is a movie? We don't care. They're just making the same movies over again. So maybe if they did a good movie that was, maybe if Tom Holland was in a real movie that was just about him and not a character that everyone loved already and put it out there, he would push to that next level. But everything's a fucking remake of an idea of an IP. That it's kind of hard to use the old ways to make new stars. But new stars are happening with the new media. and that's the
do
only
feel
pushback.
like what I would say to that, which is because I agree with basically everything you said. My only thing is, and I could be wrong with this, and it might be specific for this. I would think the same people who would be excited to see Kai Cenat and the way that they would act to Kai Cenat, they might act that same way to Iron Man. And I don't know if this was maybe like if we said a few years ago, and that's still Robert Downey Jr. because
Wait, elaborate. What do you mean? You saying they would
okay,
not?
so like okay, when the I don't know if I could even articulate this the way my brain is thinking it. Okay, so basically, do you think that the people who are excited to see Kai Cenat would be excited to see Robert Downey Jr.? Like, say, like when Kai Cenat's walking down the street, they go, do you think that when Robert Downey Jr. is walking down the street, like, oh shit, it's Iron Man?
Yeah.
So that's kind of my point where I say Kai Cenat, even though Kai Cenat is huge, right? And that's why I said maybe it's specific. I don't know, because I'm like fighting with myself in my head.
Yeah. Like, all right, we're working it out.
Like, basically, my point is not that there's not new stars being created. It's just that the same way with every movie's a nostalgia thing, because everybody wants to rely on proven things and are too scared to do new things. I feel like that goes across all of entertainment, even to like down to the creators of it. Like the it's more easy to invest in LeBron than they don't want to take risks to a point where I think that's why the old guard is sticking around longer. That's what I'm saying. The old guard is sticking around longer than they ever have. And it's not like retire. I don't mean sticking around like they got to disappear. I mean sticking around at the top.
Yeah.
At the top still, where it's like almost suffocating the top, where it's like usually by now there are, and like you said, Kai Cenat and stuff, there are the younger, let's say, actors and stuff or something like that. Like you said, there's different genres who are just compete just as much, if not more, with the old. There's so much of the people that are huge are from the old guard, whether it comes to music or not. And I don't necessarily think that's a awful thing in music. Because I also think what's going on is people are accepting, especially I can speak about rap because that's what I know. People are accepting you to get older, and which is a beautiful thing. Is the best thing that's ever happened to culture, was allowing people to get older. But the problem be the older niggas are just too good. Like I feel it's like sometimes they've been doing it for so long where it's like, I don't know if this is just a thing right now, but it's like, I don't even want to hear certain people when I could just listen to the clips right now. Like it's almost to a point where people
I feel like that's a lightning in a bottle moment, though. We're talking about the greatest album of the year in a moment that's unprecedented. Hip hop, sports, music. Let's hit all buckets. First, like we said, we know hip hop, we're there. Doechii is 24, 25. If she drops anything kind of classic, she's going in that space. You know what I'm saying? She has hopefully she doesn't go the Nicki Minaj route and goes the Lauryn Hill route, like where there's credibility and art, it's artful music as well as success. Whereas I feel Nicki Minaj is hit maker, great lyricist, spitter, but she makes hits, numbers, that. You know what I'm saying? I need something more from Doechii. That's that on that. Then you have Tyler, who's part of that old generation, right? But he's crossed over during the 2020s into big three territory because he's still younger and still appeals to a young demographic, right? And then with that was music. So when I think, I want to push back that there seems like to be people coming up, right? How do you feel about Doechii? Me saying that she could be in that space first.
Yes and no. I know it's a cop-out. Like one, it's the if factor still, because I do agree if that happens, but I agree with if that happens with a lot of people, they could do that. But I'm saying that as of right now is more I'm speaking of. But okay, so let's just go into that. The way I feel about Doechii is dope. And she's polarizing enough where she could drop something big. There's something that there's something that feels like still to me, and I could be wrong, but there's something that feels like there's some sort of disconnect. And I don't, and of course there's gonna be people who hate on Doechii. That's not what I'm talking about. It just feels like, okay, that Anxiety song, massive, massive song, massive record. But the impact of the record does not feel the same to me, if that makes like it like there's like
That's not really a hip hop record.
But it's still, but even
But it is.
like period though, like the impact of that record doesn't seem as.
I think the kids was jamming with that.
Maybe that's what I said. I could be wrong about
that. Yeah. If your kid was a little bit older, you'd have been like, okay, this joint's going through the chill.
That's what I'm saying, because the numbers are crazy. The song is a huge song. It just feels like, and it feels like because I don't know if it's just because people hate on her so much, and if that's like the attack that's on her is disgusting, but it just feels like maybe that's what I'm paying attention to more. But
I think she's a woman, and I think that's the biggest thing that her biggest hurdle that she's going against as a Black woman. Like that's gonna happen in this climate where shit is so gender wars, diaspora wars, fucking every single war, everything is divisive. Like nobody gives it. And I just kind of I'm like you said, I completely agree. I look at everybody on the internet as a bot.
Oh yeah.
Like all y'all niggas is bots. I'm talking to Screwface.
Yeah,
I know his opinion.
Yeah, I need proof.
The rest of you niggas is bots. I be looking at our comments and shit, and people saying wild shit. I'm like, we didn't even talk about that. Like, what are you talking about in these comments? People just trying to get up. Like I said, they're looking for community. They're looking for it. So I'll go in, get in the comments, do whatever you got to do. But so I think she has that hurdle. I don't see. There's a lot of underground rappers though, and I feel like one of them. Like when I say underground rappers, we're talking about like everybody that's like the Mike, the Earl lineage, right? These people. There's a lot of Instagram rappers who have these like little communities. One of them niggas is gonna do some shit right. It's just if you have 100,000 followers, nobody knows you yet, but that you're getting 500,000 monthly listeners and shit like that. You do one thing right, and it's this way. So if someone comes, so I think it's possible.
But I also think maybe it's just the TikTokification of the world, where nowadays if you are one away from catching one of these, but like one of these don't guarantee you're actually gonna stay. Like because I'm talking more like, and I guess because like the way things are done now are completely different, and I think maybe it's because Kendrick, Drake, and Cole are the last generation of that, where it's like they're almost like, it's almost like a unanimous, like there was like a vote and everybody just knows, oh, these are the guys. Where it's just like, and the media is pushing it that way. It's not like, because like you said, the internet fractures a lot of stuff, but it was, and it's probably because we don't have as like the blog era. They're the last blog era people, and since the blogs were controlling
the narrative,
the narrative, just like, you know, MTV before them, just like the TV and stuff was controlling, and radio before that was controlling the narrative. Since now we have so much stuff, there's good and bad in that. And I was just watching this other thing too, but it's, like you said, it's a lack of community, because we used to have experienced things as a culture. That's kind of what made us a culture. When we experienced it, but now it's like
we experienced it together. What made it a culture?
But that's what I'm saying. But now that doesn't happen anymore, and it definitely feels like that's a bad thing. Like there's certain moments.
It is a little bit of a bad. It's a bad thing. But what I'm trying to say is like the culture has moved online, right? And I think that we're so early. I think that 2023 was the last of the old world. I believe that's the last of the old marketing world. Like I was a TikTok nigga in 2020, right? I was like the first nigga talking about rap on TikTok. And I was shooting up followers. 2021, I dropped music video, like those rapping clips with like a real camera. I was like one of the first niggas first up, the first thing is rapping with like a real camera in front of some shit. And that's how my shit grew like 300, 200, some odd thousand on TikTok real quickly. And then I started working with Amazon and all that but shit. The point of me talking about TikTok and all that, that's the old TikTok. Now everybody does the same shit that niggas was doing then. So 23. So the world's changed. And what the world's changed to is this authenticity and community, storytelling, right? Where it takes time. Like, you can't be Kai Cenat without the time. And he's who he is because he's one of the first streamers. He's one of the first niggas to go up there and be himself and do the IRL streaming where it was like not just streaming the game. Like I'm going to talk with my friends, I'm going to invite girls over, we're going to play games and give people a different entertainment. So what I'm saying about that is when a rapper finds out, like you got Pac-Boy Max or whatever doing all these streams or whatever like that, which that one thing he did was funny when he was with Lil Baby. Did you see that? That clip was fucking hilarious. But anyways, but when a rapper or artist gets into that world, they'll have the audience and community around them to be. Think about if IShowSpeed rapped for real. IShowSpeed. What if he rapped for real? What if he was as nice as fucking one of these young dudes? What's the young dude? The New Orleans kid, Lareezy. What if Lareezy starts getting into that space and building that community in such a way? I think
maybe the way I gotta look at it has to. I don't, because even the way you're saying it, it's still like what gatekeepers were good for was there's a lot of bad they had, but one of the things they're good for was making things feel like having us all have the same experience at the same time. And I think there is a value to that, but like, because I even feel with a lot of the people you're saying that they can, but I guess what it looks like to be that now is not the same thing. Because like you said, IShowSpeed could become a rapper and he's already dropped songs of millions and millions.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, you are, I see where you're going with that. You're saying that the narrative that was established by old media to make Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, or who they were, helps us build a community around it. The narrative on the blogs makes the big three, Cole, Kendrick, Drake. I think me and you, Screw, and all of us, if that nigga IShowSpeed was a real spitter making real albums, we would be like, this is what it is. And he has the audience, and we would all be talking about how great this album is.
Yeah.
You see what I'm trying to say? So I just think that the people, those things have not connected yet. The ability to market yourself to a mass amount of people is something that's changed. That's changed how you do that. And I don't think no company or artist has done that yet. That's the new frontier. Once an artist figures out how to make themselves as fucking popular as Kai Cenat, if their music's good, me and you are going to talk about it.
Yeah.
And that, like, you see what happens on YouTube. We'll be talking all about the same shit. We all got 100,000 views. People want to hear from different people their point of view and their take on the same fucking shit. And we talk about it because we love it. Because we built our own community. We are like, let's just talk about this shit because we want to see this keep going. So I think it's possible. Is it scary how it looks right now? Yes, because I think that's really I feel like it's scary.
Do you think that we'll ever see? The thing is, I think even if those guys are big and we talk about them, there's something that's like, and I know talent is a part of this, right? But I believe that it might, like, do you think we will ever see another, like, at their primes, do you think we'll see rappers like Kendrick, Drake, and Cole again? And I'm not talking skill, or like Biggie, Jay-Z, like the people you said, or do you think we will see athletes the size of Michael Jordan, LeBron, where it's there's something different? And then like and I know when I say this, people are gonna be like, he's the greatest, and I agree, but I'm saying the Michael Jacksons, the Princes, I think in order to get those type of things, which are gems, I know, but I'm saying in order to get those to be as big as those guys were, you almost need the old way it was. And I don't think it's possible. Like, not saying like IShowSpeed couldn't become a big rapper and but there's something different about, and I wasn't even like around for this, but I felt like I watched it when Michael Jackson's hair caught on fire at the Pepsi shit. Like I wasn't even around for that, and I felt like I experienced that. Those are like when Michael Jordan's flu game, like moments like that need almost like a monolithic or more of a monolithic culture for those people to become those things, because there's things Kai Cenat have already done that if he was in the old media, like I guess you are saying what I'm saying, because they do have the ability. I just don't think that it's up to them anymore. No matter how much of the ability they have, I think there's a machine that used to exist that would make you be looked at like that. And I feel like that's why people are having a hard time. If you ask people right now, who's the big three, people get like, you'll get a bunch of different answers. And I feel like that's the first time that this has happened, where nobody really has a pinpoint thing where everybody knew by fucking Problems it was Drake, Kendrick, Cole. Like by fucking Problems, niggas.
Well, there was pushback on Cole for a while on the big threes conversation.
Oh yeah, you're right, because in the beginning
there was pushback on Cole.
Yeah, they had.
He was here, and Ken after Good Kid, Mad City was like, "Oh, Good Kid, Mad City, and Drake's the most popular. These are the best rappers." And Cole, people would throw Cole's fan base was like, "What about Cole?" But he was so there was like online.
Like after Forest Hill Drive, it was
Forest Hill Drive solidified it. Like, okay, what's like we can't ignore this. Even if you're not a J. Cole fan, you can't ignore what that album did. And what I mean by that is, I think you're correct, because it's the whole Beyonce Michael Jackson conversation where
Beyonce's
it's like
another one. Yep, Beyonce's another
Beyonce can't do anything to be Michael Jackson. There's nothing she can do to be what Michael Jackson was, because of the climate and media was, and how certain things like a music video is equated with Michael Jackson. So if you just make a music video, you know what I'm trying to say? It's like when you think of the art form, you think of that archetype or character, so it's kind of hard to surpass it. But I do think there'll be a superstar, but I think it will look different. I think it's possible. I just think it will look different. But culture is the reason why Michael Jackson was who he was, because he wasn't in our phones every day telling who he was and people commenting in it. We talked about it.
Yeah, that's
we
true.
all were together watching the Thriller video or learning how to dance and all this type of shit. But did you see Kai Cenat and what's my guys, Kevin Hart, that stream with Drewski?
Oh yeah. That was a moment. Yeah,
that was a fucking moment.
Like Versus, remember the Versus? I feel like Versus was like one of the last times it was like, because it was like it felt, that's what everybody missed, was like the community of the Versus. Because like when Versus happened, it felt like back when the old media stuff, and and things are circular, so maybe it's Pandora's box is already open, but like I think there is a value to that. I guess what you're saying. You're right with what you're saying.
It's actually Versus also was its own thing too, in the sense of like we all watched some shit on MTV or TRL or 106 in Park and saw the #1 video. Then we go to school the next day and be like blah 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 about it. But we didn't know we were watching it together. There's a different thing of community when that verse is going on and we see all the comments. I'm in physically with people, and there's people on the other side. We were just in it. Same thing with how we all got into this community that we are in now. The fucking battle that never existed ever before the battle. So I think that when you figure out how to merge real life community with when it happens with the internet, it's more powerful than anything ever.
Yes,
before.
That's very true. Yeah.
No, you're right. Because there's nothing like that fucking battle. If you were,
you're right.
Yeah, if for some reason just like there was nothing like that Kai Cenat fucking stream. I was with my girl watching the shit like it was regular TV, and we were dying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, am I watching a stream, nigga?
Yeah.
That was the first stream I ever saw live.
Yeah. Those are cultural moments. Yeah.
Cultural moments. Just like this Clips album.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope because it would suck if nobody comes after, it would suck, because you got to know where this shit is going. You know what I'm saying?
I only say that because by Carter, before Carter 3 for real, but by Carter 3, Wayne was him, but we knew Drake was. It was all but signed, sealed, delivered. By Kendrick's is a little different because I feel like he got passed the torch by Dr. Dre, but like we knew what it was. And the same thing with Cole. Cole did take some time because I do remember in the beginning when people said he picked the wrong single. And I was an early Cole head, so like maybe I have bias in my head because I had this thing in my MySpace I'll never forget because I that's when I was starting to Photoshop. I photoshopped this picture of J. Cole. And, you know, I'm in Nebraska, so there's a lot of people who are not hip to him at this time. And this is back in, like, mixtape era. This is before he uploaded Losing My Balance music video. I remember when he uploaded that video. And I had this picture, and I said, y'all don't know who this dude is, but he's better than Drake. My comments, niggas was in there. Like, I mean, for me at the time.
Fire you up.
Yeah, it was like 6 comments. But for me, that was a lot at the time.
Hey, that's a lot.
It was like, what are you talking about? And it's just crazy.
Think about 6 niggas at your door yelling at you about some shit. That's a lot of niggas.
Yeah. So that's how I just felt like there hasn't been that yet to happen. And I feel like, excuse me, and I know that people are going to look at it like, he's a Drake hater. But I want to be honest when I say this. And take this with whatever you want to take this. I think Drake's best days might be behind him. And that doesn't mean he's going to disappear. That doesn't mean that he's falling off the new. Yeah. But I saw a tweet. I can't remember who it was. It was a super level-headed tweet about it where they said, because they were talking about how none of his singles are sticking the way they used to. And they're obviously not, like something you have to look at because that's weird. And the person said, it does make sense because nobody can be where Drake was for 16 plus years. Like we just got so used to the norm, what the status quo was, that we just thought it was going to be forever. But it's like, no, that's just impossible. Like how much more? You don't look at what happened to him. Yeah, of course it could be a bookend, but it's still like his run was one of the greatest runs we'll ever see. But when it goes to the Hotline Bling, God's Plan, Kiki, Do You Love Me, Drake? I don't know. I could be dead wrong. People could come back in this and be like, but I think that's behind him. And I think by this time in Wayne's career, Drake was solidified. I feel like this is the point of Wayne's career when he went to jail. For Drake.
Yeah, but look at that. Before that, Jay had it from the top spot. He had it probably from 2000. You're messing around Jay, DMX in 98, 99, right?
Mm-hmm.
By 99, 2000, it's Jay.
But you gotta remember
Eminem
break for 50 Cent's run. Jay kind of took a hiatus.
Dude, that's 2003.
Yeah, okay.
That's 2003. So you're talking about 4 or 5 years. Then 50 Cent comes in. But Jay's still the guy. Even when 50 Cent is at the top of the game, he's the new guy. But Jay-Z's still at the top and in the conversation with 50 coming in here. So you're talking about some guy that's doing this the whole time while people are coming in next to him. Eminem, freaking all the like Southern guys, Nelly, Ludacris, is selling a lot of records, but they weren't in the Jay-Z space. T.I., all these people had these moments. 50 Cent had the hugest of those moments, but he never was what Jay-Z was to the culture in the same way, right? But I think the next guy, even though 50 Cent was that as far as the guy, but the next guy after 50 Cent is Kanye. Yeah. And after Kanye, Wayne slips in over Kanye's like space. And then Kanye and Wayne are like the two. Then it's the big three after that. So it's just the big three took a long time. That's really it, because it took them longer to get to where freaking 50 Cent was.
Yeah. It
took them way longer, whereas 50 Cent did the shit off his first album. Because the system was there, and he was the greatest marketer in the world, and said literally, you know what? He Thanos hip hop. He took the golden era of hip hop and says, "I'm all of you fucking niggas. You can't beat me. I'm Tupac. I'm Biggie. I'm Jay-Z. I'm DMX. I'm all of you niggas."
I also believe 50 Cent is the reason why we care about numbers now. Why the average fan cares about numbers. I think that is a 50 Cent thing. It's pretty obvious if you look at it too, because if you go back like pre 50 Cent, and I heard somebody say this too, and they were like, now mind you, the first album I ever bought with my own money was the documentary. So I'm like a bit younger than that, but I still know that like if you look back at like Illmatic, some of the albums we were like, these are the great, Reasonable Doubt, these are the most prolific. Their first weeks are doo-doo, super doo-doo. But it never mattered. It never mattered before. And when 50 Cent came and started clowning Ja because of the number, that's when everybody started caring.
He talk about his units. 50 Cent is definitely that, because even if Jay-Z was talking about, Jay-Z sold 5 million, I remember, in 98. Did 5 times platinum. What's his name? DMX had 2 albums that went like 2 times platinum in the same year, right?
Yeah.
No one cared.
Yeah.
We didn't really care about it, and they weren't fucking out there. It was like press shit.
Yeah.
Diddy was selling all the albums in the world. We didn't give a fuck. Will Smith was selling. He had the number 1 albums. No one thought that meant, and that mean you're nice, nigga.
Yeah.
Like, we don't give a fuck. Yeah. Like, getting jiggy with it. Like, nigga, like what?
I feel like
it's 100% 50 Cent's fault, because he had credibility and he was using that to attack somebody, and he made it funny too. And that's where
specifically nobody knew what SoundScan was until 50 Cent. I feel like 50 Cent was the one who let people know, because as soon as, I think he said it about, was it Cameron? I can't remember when he said it.
He made it popular, but I mean, there was people saying it before, but he definitely made it popular.
Like for the average fan, like I'm talking about, you got to know that like when 50 came out, how old was I in 2002? I was born in 91. You got to know that we, after that, as kids, started like, man, he ain't even check your SoundScan. Like before that, we didn't care. Like, but now we thought we were supposed to care, and that's what just is.
And that's related to the stream numbers and all that type of shit. Yeah. And if this is to all independent artists and artists out here, and you should know that too, because you just dropped you was dropping records, and you dropped that record with Mick Jenkins, which is a great record too. You know that the life of your music nowadays lives so much longer than a week.
I'ma get $1 million in the bank.